deep to left center field. Back it goes and gone. The 0-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging at 101. Swinging a drive, left field and deep. Back it goes and gone. And the Twins walk it off again.
All right, it is that time. We're joined by Cory Provus, voice of the Minnesota Twins on Bally Sports North. His appearance is brought to us by Welton's Tire Service in Lisbon, North Dakota. Twins are back home to start a 9-game homestand. It's the Cardinals, followed by Atlanta, and then Toronto, and that'll take us all the way to Labor Day and September baseball, which is the best. A 4-3 road trip. How would you, if you were to grade it, how would you grade what the last 7 games went?
I'd give them a B. I think anytime you can have a winning road trip, you'll take it. Now, you think about how it started, much like the last homestand started, with taking the first 2 against Cleveland. You're like, all right, it's all uphill from here. And then they dropped the final 2, but still went 4-3 on that homestand. And here they won the first 3 in Arlington, and they look poised to pull off the 4-game sweep before things, melted quickly there on Sunday in a comparable fashion, how it unfolded too on Tuesday with how quickly the game changed. But still, a winning road trip, a winning homestand. If the Twins do that, they'll be where they want to be at the end of the year. If they go 4-3 on these 7-game trips, this, like you mentioned here, a winning homestand, if they can do that, they're going to be a 90-win team, and they're going to be in the playoff picture somehow, some way. So that's the silver lining of it. And to put it together in a big way and put up a big run total on Wednesday was a good sign.
Cory, for a lot of Twins fans, that might have been their introduction to San Diego for 2024. They're hopping right now. That's a good ball club, great atmosphere. Those were. I know it didn't turn out. They lost 2 or 3. That was a great series, I thought, in San Diego.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And, the Twins, barring any a World Series matchup here, the Twins won't be back in San Diego until 2026. But when that schedule comes out, if you can make it, put that on your list of places to go see the team. It's a beautiful ballpark in a great area with so much to do and see, areas to stay. The food, by the way, the food of that ballpark, and I'm not a big, I don't eat a ton of ballpark food, but there I do. It's I think my favorite ballpark fare I've sampled yet. I mean, they have they have your standard stuff as well, but then they have some eclectic, Southern California options that sound pretty darn good on a nice day. So I loved it, and it's a great place, great team. And look, the Twins had a chance to win 2 out of 3 there too, with the way that they rallied there on Tuesday before the bottom fell out in that rapid fashion that I mentioned earlier. But still, so yeah, San Diego, best record, at least we saw them last, best record of any team in baseball here since the All-Star break.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off on the bullpen. With Alcala had struggled on Sunday, Okert on Tuesday. Is there more to read into this, or is this just a 1-game off in your mind?
There was no time, I don't think, for Rocco to make a move. You can argue, I think with Alcala, that move made all the sense in the world. The guy's been really good. And the Twins lost a 4-0 lead in the span of 9 pitches.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no time to get anybody else up to get him out. I mean, it's just that one, you can't, I have no issue there. If you want to go to Tuesday and pick apart, was Stephen Okert the right guy in that spot? I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say, why him? We didn't know at the time. Was Griffin Jacks finished the 7th inning. The team just grabbed the lead in the 8th inning. Alcala, Durant, are these guys down? We didn't know.
Yep.
And Rocco confirmed postgame that they were available. The issue that you have with Stephen Okert is that his numbers against right-handed hitting has been terrible. I mean, he's really struggled all year getting out righties. So listen to Rocco's postgame thoughts about that. And remember, San Diego had a lefty switch hitter coming up. But his line of, there are times where we're okay with the other team pinch hitting. And I get what he's saying, but there you want Tyler Wade batting. I mean, Tyler Wade, you want him hitting there. He has no home runs, not much power. To me, you want him batting there. And when you bring in Stephen Okert, every manager is going to go to his right-handed hitting bench. Every chance, every step of the way here. So that one was puzzling. I think, why not? Thielbar, Okert was fresh. That's what Rocco said. He was the freshest of the left-handed arms, but it's still, that to me was a head scratcher because he struggled so much against righties, and Luis Arias hits righties and lefties. So that's not going to. I don't think that's going to win you many arguments there. So to me, that was fair to criticize, and I thought we did that. I thought we
Yeah.
kind of brought up some points about that on Tuesday, and we had no issue with that.
Especially the broadcast, you had a shot of Cole Sands in the bullpen as well, warming up. Like, I mean, if you could go that way too, to
Yeah.
prevent what happened.
Yeah, I mean, Cole Sands, I believe he was going to come in. If Profar, he was going to come in for Jay Cronenworth, who's a left-handed hitter.
Yep.
But Cronenworth was the fourth batter. So by rule, you have to face a minimum of three before you can make a move, unless the inning is over or somebody's hurt. But again, it happened so fast. It happened in 10 pitches. The lead was gone in 10 pitches. And by the time Profar hit the home run, now they're down one. Sands, more of a high leverage guy. He sits down, and Ronnie Enriquez comes up, and then Bogarts adds the RBI double. It's a 2-run game, and then it's game, set, match after that. So I think a lot of it happened fast. So I don't question not taking Okert out for the Cronenworth at bat, because it's a lefty-lefty matchup. But again, you can go back and you can pick apart, was he the right guy in that inning to begin with? And I think that's fair to debate.
Injury-wise, is there anything? I mean, I'm assuming Rocco's going to give one here since they're back home. Your sense on either Buxton or Correa? It looks like Correa might. That looks far away. At least my sense of it. Buxton maybe sooner than that.
Buxton maybe as early as tonight.
Yep.
I don't know. What we heard from Nick Paparesta was that he's the head trainer, that the Twins were limited with how much work they could do on field at Target Field because of all the concerts that they had going on at the ballpark. Well, they have CHS Field. The Saints were on the. I mean, okay, fine. The Saints were home, but I think there's a way to. You can probably drive across town and have a guy and have multiple players go work out. So that was. I fine. A little tongue in cheek when I heard that. I kind of snickered when I heard that, but I don't know. I just, Byron's eligible today. But part of this to me is that the Twins, I can just see it, that Nick and the whole training staff, and maybe even Rocco, they're going to want to see him go through a full workout.
Yep.
And maybe that happens at 1:00 today. I don't know. And then they make a decision after that. And he was still feeling some pain when he's just sitting down. He felt some pain. So he had a cortisone shot, and that takes a few days for the cortisone to begin the healing process, and then you hope to ramp up. He's picked up his fielding, he's picked up his running, but to the extent that he's got the green light to go out and play a big league game tonight, I have my doubts. I hope I'm wrong. With Correa, I don't know how this goes without him. He's going to have to play through pain at some point.
Yeah.
This is where we're at in the season, Dom. I don't see this just waking up one day and it's better.
Yeah.
He's feeling pain when he puts spikes on. He's not feeling so much pain when he's in sneakers and sandals, but when he puts on some spikes, and they've tried different orthotic inserts here, and they'll probably tinker around with that still the rest of the way. But look, Luis Ariz is playing with a torn ligament in his left thumb. Guys have to play through stuff, and I think we're getting to the point where this is how it's going to be the rest of the way. So, and he's not the only one, just setting a recent example. And guys are playing through stuff right now that we don't even know about. So the likelihood that this is going to be 100% for Carlos Correa, to me, is about a 0% chance that he's going to have to play through pain. Now, on the 1 to 10 threshold, what is he feeling? Is it a 5? I can't speak for him in that regard. I know it's uncomfortable when he's got spikes on. And so to me, that's going to be something that at some point he's going to be like, all right, I'm going to have to manage it. I won't be able to play 7 straight days. I have to play 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, and go from there. And that's probably how it's going to play out. Now, when that begins is anybody's guess.
Brooks Lee, any update there, Corey, that you know?
Well, they were hoping that Brooks Lee and Alex Kirilloff were going to rehab with the Saints this weekend. And so if they get a couple of games in this weekend, then I think for the Braves series, then that comes into play more next week. They're going to have some roster crunching to do here as well. I mean, the cleanest move is, let's play this out. Hypothetically, Byron is back today, tomorrow. I mean, the cleanest move would be Austin Martin, right? But he's playing pretty well. I mean, he's playing pretty well. And yes, that's the cleaner move. Do they cut Manuel Margot? I mean, they've got some decisions to
Yep.
make here in terms of roster crunching and how they make this happen. I don't think Kyle Farmer leaves. I don't. I mean, Eddie Julian probably would be somebody that could be optioned out. But the Twins are in a run where they're seeing a lot of right-handed pitching. The three starters they're going to see in this series are all right-handed, and I thought Eddie Julian's coming off a couple of good games. Julian was kind of quiet there in Texas, but even that last Sunday, that last day, I thought he had some better at bats Sunday in
Mhm.
Arlington. Then he had some really good swings, and he had the results too on Wednesday against the Padres. So I don't know if you make that move right now.
Yeah.
If there was a run of left-handed starting pitching coming up, okay, maybe, but I think he stays for now.
So now it's the Cardinals this weekend, and they always travel well. I imagine there's going to be a good amount of St. Louis fans probably at Target Field. But this is not your 5 years ago Cardinals were at the top of they're not great. They're under 500. This is a series that the Twins, if they play well, should take care of business against.
Yeah, I mean, St. Louis has been a bad team offensively. They're near the bottom in the National League in run scoring, near the bottom in baseball in run scoring per game. Yeah, offensively, it's not clicked for St. Louis. They're a game under 500 entering the series here tonight. They've won their last two. But if you go back when we probably spoke about the National League, maybe during that Giants series,
Mm-hmm.
Dom, around the All-Star break, and it seemed like there were going to be multiple teams that had a chance to get into the playoffs, at least as a wild card team in the National League. That's not going to be the case anymore. The way that Arizona and San Diego have played here since the All-Star break,
Yeah.
Atlanta's the third wild card team right now, and they're 9 games over. So St. Louis, a game under. It's going to be hard to leapfrog multiple teams, and now I don't think there'll be any, 500 team that sneaks into the playoffs in the National League, but it didn't look that way 2 months ago. St. Louis, I heard Ken Rosenthal of the Athletic and MLB and Fox mention this not too long ago, but the Cardinals under 500 last year. The last time I believe they had back-to-back sub 500 seasons was like 1958, 1959.
Oh,
This is
cow.
this is unusual
Yeah.
for a storied franchise that I think for many has been a model franchise that will spend when we have to, but we're going to develop and we're going to be in the mix. We're going to contend. And growing up a Cub fan, that model with the Cardinals seemed to always work. And they won world championships. They drafted well. They developed well. They would spend when they had to, but man, they were always in the mix. So to see St. Louis, not play well last year and flirting with mediocrity
Yeah.
this season is not the norm. That's why the pressure's on there, and jobs could be lost. That's a great fan base, a passionate fan base. Love their baseball, love their history. They're not used to this, and so that's why the pressure is on right now for I think the front office with the Cardinals.
I know you got to roll. I got to ask you real quick about Sonny Gray, Pablo Lopez tomorrow night. How much fun is
Oh
that going to be?
man, that's going to be
Yeah.
awesome. I mean, that's going to be awesome. And I'm going to date myself here. Back when I was a kid, and maybe you feel the same way. But there were times where you would look ahead your favorite team, and you would say, "When is my favorite pitcher
Yep.
going?" And then sometimes it would lock up with maybe for me, it would be a Greg Maddux start, and he'd be going up against, I don't know, Randy Johnson or something. There would just be a matchup that would grab your attention. This to me has that tomorrow night. That I hope that fans say it's not just Twins Cardinals. Oh, Pablo's pitching. That's great, but you know what? Sonny's pitching too. That would be like, hey, I want to go see that matchup. I want to be there to thank Sonny too for what he did, especially last year. Incredible season. But to see Pablo and Sonny, two former teammates, the one and the two on last year's playoff staff, now meeting in prime time, Saturday night, Target Field, weather looks
Yep.
great. I hope that there's some extra juice in the ballpark tomorrow night, and I think there will be.
It's great to see you, man. Have a great call this weekend, and we'll catch you next Friday, okay?
All right, Tom. Thanks, buddy.
Cory Provus, voice of the Minnesota Twins on Bally Sports North, as the Twins get set to take on the Cardinals. You saw Eric brought up the pitching matchups. A reminder, tonight's game is exclusive on Apple TV, so no Cory and Bally tonight. They'll have the games on Saturday and Sunday. Day game on Sunday. Matchup tonight, Andre Palante will start for the Cardinals, a mark of 5-6 with an ERA just north of 4. And David Festa back after his last start against the Rangers, mark of 2-2 with an ERA just under 5. First pitch at 7 o'clock. I believe it's City Connect Jersey night because it's Friday, so I believe they're doing those tonight for the matchup. And the Cardinal, again, You heard that stat. I didn't know, 58 and 59. That is wild. St. Louis is always good. So the fact that they're not, I can certainly rub into the Klymans that they're not, because he made sure he told me that when we were in Las Vegas, that they have not put it together. And you saw the graphic of the National League wildcard race right now and who's involved in that. So going to be a great series. Again, the next 9 are at home. 3 this weekend with the Cardinals. Then the Braves come in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Off day on Thursday. And then next weekend, it's the Blue Jays to take us to Labor Day weekend. And then it's September. Just wrap your mind around that. We got September baseball around the corner. We'll break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour 1. Matt Larson on deck for hour 2 to chat on the FCS playoffs and game day changes coming to NDSU as well. Is that live in Grand Forks? We got fog here. Unbelievable. We're back after this.